This year's summer has been very warm, with temperatures dropping slightly only at night. I was at work on Friday and knew that tomorrow would be a day off. I decided to call my friends and plan a vacation for the next day. They were all in agreement, as we all worked hard and needed a vacation. My wife often spent the weekend with her friends, so she went to their place, and Mike, Dave, and I discussed where we could go for a relaxing vacation. I suggested my mother-in-law's cabin, which I had spare keys to due to our good relationship. I often brought things to the cabin, trying not to disturb her and always leaving the keys in the glove compartment. On Saturday, my friends and I loaded up in the car and headed to the lodge. We planned to have a nice overnight stay and return home Sunday afternoon or evening. The drive took about an hour, and upon arrival, I noticed the cabin door was ajar. Leaving the boys in the car, I entered the cabin and found my mother-in-law Mary there. I explained the situation to her and offered to find another place if she planned to stay at the cabin that day. However, my mother-in-law insisted that we come in and rest, assuring us that we were not bothering her. She mentioned that she would be leaving soon anyway. We settled down in the shade and started roasting meat. My mother-in-law offered to help with the appetizers, and Mike and Dave built a fire for the kebabs. In no time, my mother-in-law had the table set up, and I brought drinks from the car. We all gathered around the table, and I invited my mother-in-law to join us, to which she happily agreed. After dinner, the heat intensified, and we had to take off our shirts. My mother-in-law noted that she was very hot and decided to change her clothes since she was wearing jeans. When she returned, the men were surprised to see her in her robe, which, despite its usual length, exposed her beautiful legs. While she was in the shade, it wasn't too noticeable, but once she stepped out into the sunlight, her slender figure became quite obvious. After having a few more drinks, we struck up various conversations. Later, my mother-in-law got up to get some snacks from the cabin, and I followed her. She walked to the kitchen and started making pizza. I walked up behind her, and when she turned around, she asked if I wanted anything else. I answered in the affirmative and pulled her to me. At first, my mother-in-law looked confused and asked what I was doing, but I ignored her and continued on. Soon we found ourselves engaged in this very activity. It didn't last long, however, as the men called for me. I cleaned myself up, grabbed a plate of pizza slices, and headed out into the yard. Soon my mother-in-law joined me, and the relaxation continued. I considered myself lucky to have had such a vacation. If you enjoyed my story, please put a like and subscribe for more stories. Thank you for listening.